Hello, everyone. We are just waiting for a few more participants to join, so we will start shortly. So please be with us. And just announcement, if you are joining, so just make sure your mic is on mute. And if you would like to ask any question with the speaker, you can just write it down in the chat box. So we will start shortly. Thank you. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum and good afternoon to everyone. We are now going to start our webinar for today. So first of all, I would like to welcome all of you to IEEE PES Day 2020 webinar series. Today, this is our fifth webinar of the series. I would like to just announce a few things before we proceed further. Please, when you join, keep your microphone on mute. And if you would like to ask any question, you can just raise it in the chat box. Or if the speaker asks to open up, then you can unmute yourself and then you can continue asking the question. But if you would like to have the smooth streaming, then please just keep your microphone on mute. All right, so today, this is, as I mentioned, this is one of the seminar in regards to IEEE PES Day. So this webinar is basically educational talk. It's more like the skills that we are going to get from our speaker today, that what are the essential skills that are required for a practicing engineer. So here I would like to introduce our speaker today. Our speaker today is Mr. Muhammad Zakuan bin Ahmad Dahalan. He is working as a project technical expert with UNIDO. Before we proceed with him, I would like to hand over to Associate Professor Dr. Nur Rashida. She will be moderating today's event, and let me just see whether she is still there or not. I cannot see Dr. Rashida. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Assalamualaikum, everyone.
Walaikum assalam. Okay, Dr. Rashida. So, Dr. Rashida is basically the one who arranged this webinar in collaboration with IEEE PES Malaysia Chapter. She is from UiTM Shah Alam, and also she is the current secretary of IEEE PES Malaysia. So she would like to share, I think, some of the things. So let me, Dr. Rashida, let me give you the access. Share. All right, so I hand over to you, Dr. Ashida. You can continue the session from now on.
Okay. Thank you so much, Dr. Harun. Okay, Assalamualaikum and a very good afternoon to all participants. Okay, today as what, can everyone hear me clearly? Yes, okay. So as what Dr. Harun mentioned just now, this is a seminar, educational seminar, where this seminar is basically organized by IEEE UiTM student branch. So before I pass the session to our speaker, Mr. Zakuan, let me just briefly introduce UiTM and UiTM student branch. Let me just share the slides I have prepared. Okay, everyone can see my slide, right? The Universiti Teknologi MARA. Okay, just a brief introduction of Universiti Teknologi MARA. We are located in Selangor, west of Peninsula Malaysia, where Universiti Teknologi MARA is in short is UiTM. So this is our main campus in Shah Alam. This is the Chancellery building. So next I would like to just briefly introduce our faculty of Electrical Engineering. So this is our dean, the current dean, Associate Professor in Senior Technologies, Juliana Johari. And this is our campus, main electrical engineering campus in Shah Alam. We are located at the Twin Tower. This tower is, we have 5 engineering faculties in this tower. So actually in the engineering tower, there are 2 main blocks, Tower 1 and Tower 2. Electrical engineering is in Tower 2. Okay, so here we are. Okay, and as for the IEEE UiTM student branch, we are in Malaysia in region 10. Okay, so this is the map of the whole IEEE. So we are in the last region, which is region 10. And these are some of the student branches in Malaysia. Okay, so for UiTM, IEEE student branch, I am the counselor and assisted by technologist Dr. Suhaila Subahir. And this is the organization chart for our EXCO. Okay, bit small, but these are the current 2020 EXCO. And basically for IEEE UiTM student branch, our program basically focuses on academic, humanitarian, entrepreneurship, and also social. These are some of the programs that we have conducted last year, 2019. And some of the pictures of the programs. And for this year, we are starting the program in April 2020, which is today is our first seminar, which is our first program for IEEE UiTM student branch. So for this month only, we plan, or these are the plan that we have for this month program for IEEE UiTM student branch. Okay, so for our social media is we have Facebook and Instagram, where currently we just developed the IEEE UiTM student branch website. Okay, so this is the website for IEEE UiTM student branch, where it is still under progress of improving the content. So with that, that is just the overview or introduction of IEEE UiTM student branch. So okay, now I have no further thing to tell about UiTM student branch. I will pass the session to Mr. Zakuan, but before that, Dr. Harun just now have briefly introduced Mr. Zakuan. Let me just share a little bit of Mr. Zakuan. Okay, as our speaker, Ahmad Zakuan, is a project technical expert in UNIDO since 2017. He also has experience as an energy engineer at Grosera Tal Industries, Sdn Bhd, and project engineer and energy manager, Foxborough, Malaysia, Sdn Bhd. He was graduated from Universiti Teknologi Malaysia, Melaka, in electrical engineering in industrial power, 2012. He is a registered electrical energy manager with the Energy Commission and certified energy efficiency and solar thermal expert UNIDO. He involved in handling energy equipment for electrical and thermal energy audit. He has experience in energy management and green technology for industry and building. He also has experience in energy management and distribution control system for oil and gas and manufacturing industry. So as we can look at the brief introduction, we know that Cik Ahmad Zakuan has broad experience. So I guess he has many things to share with you. So Cik Zakuan, are you ready?
Yes, ready.
Okay, I'll just stop my share and pass it to you.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Norashida.
Okay.
Okay. Can you see my PowerPoint?
Yes, clearly can.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Shida, UiTM, and also IEEE. Thank you for inviting me for PES Day. Today, I would like to share my experience. Okay, and today I would like to share with you regarding the essential skill for an engineer, which is preparing young engineer for practicing engineer. Okay, this is my background. Okay, previously I'm working with the oil and gas industry and also manufacturing. And currently, I'm working with a non-profit organization, with a United Nations Industrial Development Organization, which is I already help more than 40 industry to save their cost by implementing energy efficiency and also to reduce carbon emission. Okay. Before I start my sharing session, can I get opinion from the participant? What is the engineering? Anyone who can share? Because my presentation or say sharing session, I like to get the two-way communication. So anyone can give any opinion about the engineering? What is
Maybe you can just type in the chat form and Mr. Zakuan can just read it from there.
okay?
But if anyone wants to speak, just unmute yourself. You can just speak.
Yes, and also introduce yourself.
Sekejap, ni bagi record ke tak ni? Boleh je ke? Tu ada punya.
Yeah, I cannot see my. Sorry, I cannot see my chat box. It's okay. So I will proceed with my presentation. Okay. Actually, the definition from the dictionary. Okay, the engineering terms is derived from the Latin word, which is come from ingenium, means a cleverness, and engineer mean to contrive or devise. Okay, where the engineering actually is a scientific field and job that involve taking our scientific understanding of the natural world and using it to invent, design, and build things to solve problems and achieve partial goals. That means if you are works as an engineer, okay, what you need to do is you can justify any issue or problem with a scientifically reason. That means you can give in the mathematical model, or you can what we call you can explain specifically with a number or with a calculation. Okay, this is a personal background or the public figure with the electrical background engineering. Okay, electrical background engineering. The first picture is a Michael. It's a Michael Bloomberg. Okay, we know that Bloomberg is a software, and also they also have what we call a stock exchange platform. Okay, this is Mr. Bean or Rowan Atkinson. He is a comedian. Okay, no, Atika Paimin, actually she is a certified accountant, but her background is electrical engineering. Satya Nadella is a CEO Microsoft. Yang Chin Yuan is a former CEO Yahoo, and also Azim Hashim Premji is a chairman Wipro. Or in Malaysia, the well-known product is like Safi, like Dashing. Okay, all of them are from electrical engineer background. So maybe next picture is your picture. Okay, you can become a very good electrical engineer or very good public figure in any background. Okay, this is the current issue in Malaysia. Ramai graduan kejuruteraan bakal menganggur, or in English we can say the unemployment of engineering graduate. This is the challenges because of economic crisis, because of the global economic crisis and the current issue because of COVID. I'm sure there are a lot of company struggle to survive. So this is your opportunity to identify what is a good opportunity. Okay, what is what you can contribute to our country to improve our economic, and also to maybe you can avoid, or you can challenge yourself to improve our country. Okay, my first question, okay, is about the career or job. Okay, I'm sure after you graduating, I'm sure most of the graduate try to find a very good job. Okay, a very good pay from maybe from the what we call from the job street, or any job, or any vacancies platform. Okay, but which one you try to find, either career or job? Anyone who can give opinion what is a different career or job, and also which one you want to choose? Anyone who can share with me? Yeah, I'm sure there are regarding the career and job. I'm sure during I'm as a fresh grade, I also don't know which one I want to choose, and I also don't know what is the difference between the career and job. Okay, actually, the career and job is actually, this is my definition based on my experience. Okay, job actually, you just get that position, and you just try to complete the given task as a part of your routine. Okay, but the career, you get that the position, but you try to 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 what we call, you try to groom yourself to become a to achieve a very good what we call a very good target, or you try to achieve by a progression based on lifelong goals. That means if you get a position as an engineer, okay, you just stagnant as an engineer. That means that is a job. But if you work as engineer with a target, which is we try to groom yourself to become a better engineer, or to become a expert or specialized engineer. So that is called career. That means you are patient to improve, and also to become extraordinary engineer. Okay, and the requirement, job and career both require the same education background. Okay, maybe you will, for job you will attend same training as career, but the difference is the job requirement is you just need an education, and maybe the company will give you training, but you don't take any opportunity from that training. You just attend, but there are nothing changes or big changes at yourself. You just a normal person, just a normal worker, and after you attend the training, you just become a same person, okay, a same worker, or a common engineer. But if career, maybe you will attend a special learning which can develop your individual capabilities. For example, okay, maybe you are engineer, but you will attend you attend training like energy manager, or competent engineer, or maybe management management course, which can influence you to become a better person or better workers. Okay, and risk. Okay, risk. If job actually you try to target a stable position. Okay, which means if you are working as a ethical engineer, you just want to secure that position. But there are external risks, like if your organization facing economic issue, okay, maybe you will face risk on the maybe on the what we call maybe pay cut, maybe you will lose your position. But the career not mean you just target uh, to get the stability of work, but this career encourage you to improve yourself and encourage you to take the risk. Okay. Okay. Actually, job and career is based on my situation. Okay. During I'm a fresh graduate, I'm working with oil and gas company. Okay. My salary is quite good. Okay. The average is around 6,000 per month. During I'm fresh graduate. If I'm very comfortable with my position, okay, I will do nothing. That means there are no improvement. I just attend the training as normal, and I try to fulfill the company target, or just to complete my task. Okay, as a part of routine. Okay, during 2016, okay, there is a what we call oil and gas crash. That means the oil price during at that time is around $40 per barrel. Okay, but I have a very good backup, because during I'm working in the oil and gas sector. Okay, during my free time, I try to fill up my time with the competencies training. I try to identify what is a good training, and I also try to get the mentor to guide me to become a great person. That means I try to grow myself and also I try to grow my career. During oil and gas crash, okay, I moved my career, okay, from a DCS engineer into the energy manager, and now I already become a technical expert for the United Nations. So if you target a career, if you assess yourself, okay, to improve your career, that means you can you can survive in any industry, in any condition of economy. If you just stagnant into a very comfortable position, that means if anything happen to you, you will become what we call labah, or will become your emotional become unstable, because you cannot think out of the box. Okay, this is based on my experience, job or career. Okay, my question number two. Okay, after graduating, I'm sure a lot of graduate try to get a very well-known company. Okay, the most of reason is, first they want to get the high pay salary from the well-known company. Second, they want to get the better what we call better branding for themselves. Okay, for example, if they can work at the first company in jobstreet.com, for example, the Google or Petronas, for sure they will feel very proud, because they already work with the top branding company in Malaysia, and also maybe they will get a lot of benefit. Okay, this is based on my survey. Okay, actually there are pro and cons for the large company and also the small company. Okay, actually I already had an experience working in a small and large company. Okay, the pro when you work with a large company, you will get a more benefit. Okay, that means you get a very good medical, you get a lot of allowance, will get a very good coverage for the insurance, and you also the organization also have more good structure. For example, we will have a very good what we call very good organization. That's mean you have the works. That's mean is structured. That's mean you just focus on your work only. If you work in a small company, okay, maybe you need to cover a lot of what we call the job scope. Okay, for example, if you work in the large company, if you are design engineer, you just design the engineering works. Okay, but if you are engineer in small company, you need start from the documentation works, design work, procurement works until at the site works. Then that's mean you will work more at the small company. Okay, the large company pros. Okay, fourth is better withstand market fluctuation. That's mean if for example the current issue is the restriction movement order. That mean for example the partial order. Okay, I'm sure large companies still can survive by providing same salary without pay cut. But for the small company, maybe they will maybe pay cut. Maybe they quite late to provide the salary. Okay, and the last one, the large company pros is strong company reputation. For example, as I mentioned before, if you're working with a well-known company, okay, when you try to get others company, or when you give any opinion, the people or the public will what we call uh not will agree, but what will see you as a very good person, or uh, what we call is as a very reputable person. Okay, but there are cons for the large company. For example, maybe there are a lot of bureaucracy. Sorry, maybe maybe there are a lot of bureaucracy. That means if you are working as a engineer, okay. For example, if you work as a engineer, okay, you cannot easily purchase the equipment, or you cannot easily to get uh, any approval easily. Okay, so you need to go through maybe to your senior engineer. You need to go through your head department. Maybe after that you will get the approval from your top management. That means there are a lot of layer to get any approval. And second, you are just a name out of thousand and thousand of workers. That means you is quite difficult to reach top management unless you are very close or you are relative to that top management. Okay, that means if you work very large company, okay, maybe for example, if you are working in a large organization, okay, maybe you are working at the what we call at the uh, what we call maybe you work at the state branch, okay. It's quite difficult for the HQ, the headquarters, or the top management from headquarters to acknowledge your works, okay, or to acknowledge your contribution. Okay, and number third is many levels of management and supervision. That means if you are very good, okay, as I mentioned, is quite difficult for the top management to see your contribution, and also it's quite difficult for you to get promotion or to get what we call fast promote to become a top management. Okay, because there are many level of management and supervision. Okay, the small company pros, okay, the potential is you will learn a lot from a small company. As I mentioned before, if you're working at a small company, maybe you need to cover from the documentation stage until the installation stage at the site. That means your responsibility is quite wide. Okay, so if you are engineer, you are not only engineer at the paperwork, maybe you are like A to Z engineer. Okay, so you are experienced. Maybe you are experienced compared to large company uh, large company engineer. Okay, and second, every worker is known even to high level management. That means if you are working in a small company, but like say if that company just 200 workers, that means you the top management is quite easy to acknowledge you or identify you if you contribute to the organization. Okay, and third, flexible working environment. Usually, if you're working at a small company, okay, usually the environment is quite flexible. Okay, and the cons for the small company is fewer benefit. That means maybe the insurance coverage is just basic. Okay, maybe won't cover your spouse for labor. Okay, maybe there are no coverage for what we call to continue your study. Okay, and second is limited training and development opportunities. Usually the small companies just try to complete their business or try to complete the project, and they try to get the payment as soon as they can. Okay, and then less opportunity to change the roles. That means if you are working as engineer, okay, maybe it take long time for you to become a manager or to become a associate or to become what we call top management of that company, because usually if that company growth is quite slow, okay, actually the position is based on demand. If their company just demand one engineer or five engineer, maybe it's quite slow for you to become a top management. Okay, and fourth, usually if you work at a small company, okay, the workload is high because you need to cover from A till Z. Okay, based on the conclusion and or based on my experience, uh, uh, for the small company, it's good for the fresh graduate to get the experience, because it's quite difficult for fresh graduate to get the experience from a large company. Okay, because usually the job or the task already specific when you work at the large company. Maybe you can rotate the position in a large company, but you will learn less, and the learning process maybe is not fast at the small company, because at small company they don't have much people. Okay, that means you need to learn as soon as possible, or you need to deliver the task as soon as possible. But in a large company, they have a lot of people. Okay, that means if you are a fresh graduate, okay, maybe you can enjoy 1.5 years to learn. Okay, maybe you will learn the management part. You will learn based on rotation, but the learning curve is low. But both large company and small company have pro and cons. Okay, actually this large company and small company is based on my previous experience, because during I'm a fresh grad, I'm working at a small company. I learned a lot. That means I need to take a lot of responsibility. Okay, when I move to the big company, so I can do a lot of things, and my progress is quite different with the engineer, which is same experience as me. Okay, okay. Is quite clear my presentation? Is it okay? Okay. Okay, there are some comment actually from Mr. A small company got no mentor and almost no training. I'm agree with you. Okay, usually the small company, usually there are no training, but if you are working with a technical company, I'm sure there are professional engineer. Okay, maybe that professional engineer can become a mentor to you lah. But usually, if you are working with the big companies, sometimes it's quite difficult to get a mentor because usually the top management or top person is quite difficult to reach because they have a lot of meeting and sometimes we cannot see them easily in the office. Okay, sometimes we need to arrange an appointment. It depends. Okay, question number 3 is also based on my experience. Okay, generalist or specialist. Okay, so based on this presentation, I would like to get the feedback from the participant. Which one you want to be? Which one you want to become? You want to become a generalist engineer, or you want to become a specialist engineer, or you want to become both? Can the participant give me opinion in the chat box? I would like to see your feedback from the chat. Okay. Okay. Most of the participants like to become a specialist. Okay, it's a good feedback. Okay. What is generalist and what is specialist? Okay, we know that there are a lot of competencies in Malaysia. For example, professional engineer, computer engineer, service engineer, steam engineer, energy manager, and also there are a lot of good what we call uh, expertise field, not expertise here, a knowledge or competencies that can support the engineer, like Master of Business, Administration, Entrepreneurship, Programming, and Data Analysis. Actually, these competencies or this training is depend on the engineering needs. For example, if you are working at the manufacturing, maybe the best demand is Lean Sigma or Green Belt or Black Belt, Green Belt or others. But if you are working at the site, maybe the Lean Sigma or Green Belt or Black Belt is not a requirement or not a demand for the site engineer. Okay, usually the general training, the general what we not general, the special training or the special competencies is depend on the requirement of your background of work or your environment. Okay, what is I'm sorry. Okay, what is generalist? Generalist is a person who knows something about a lot of subject. That means a generalist know a wide range of knowledge, but it's not in it's not what we call specialist or not a deep knowledge. But a specialist is defined as a person who has special knowledge and skill relating to particular job area of study. That means the specialist is a person who know that particular knowledge in a very good depth of that knowledge. Okay, this is the advantage generalist and not small company, specialist. Okay, advantage of generalist is have a good understanding of topic. Okay, that's mean he know all the issue, he know all the topic. Okay, and second, that generalist can understand the interconnected needs. Okay, for example, the global needs right now is IR 4.0. Okay, that's mean the IR 4.0 is a IoT things or Internet of Things. Okay, but this IoT can implement into all type of a supply chain. That's mean into the IT, into the energy, into the supply chain of the foods. Okay, into the manufacturing. That's mean right now the world is interconnected each other. Okay, and third is tend to have more transferable skill. That means if that person need to move into non-technical area, okay, he can adapt very fast. Okay, it's based on the adaptable based on the environment. Okay, that means that person will easily adaptable based on the environment or based on the global needs. And then the last advantage is career flexibility. That means if for example, if there are demand on that job or on that area, maybe he quite easy to change the career or to is easy to survive in the market. Okay, for example, for the example is COVID-19. Okay, I'm sure there are some area is quite struggle. For example, like a construction. Okay, maybe if that person is a generalist, okay, and currently he work at the construction area, okay, maybe he is quite easy to transfer to others area, maybe like IT or maybe like any services area. Okay, and not a small company. Sorry, not a, this one is advantages for the specialist. Okay, the advantages for the specialist is good understand in depth. That means he expert in the specific area. Okay, for example, if he is a electrical engineer, so he must a person who are expert in the specific area like distribution or maybe at the protection area. Okay, he already have a expert area. Okay, and second, the potential to earn more money. Okay, the potential to earn more money, that's mean usually some company, okay, they will need a specialist to support their business background. Okay, for example, um, transformer industry. Okay, so they will need a specialist, that specialist for the transformer. So that's mean that person is like a guru or like a leader for the technical guy. Okay, and third is job security. Usually the specialist, okay, for the specialist compared to the generalist, usually the company who need the specialist, they will take care or will not maybe the specialist can survive on the company based on what we call based on the environment of that business. For example, as I mentioned, if that companies sell a transformer, so for sure the person who are specialists for that transformer still survive in that company because that company need that expert or need that specialist lah. And third, maybe he also become a leader for others technical guys. Okay, for example, the common engineer, the design engineer. So this specialist will become a leader for all technical workers in that company lah. Okay. The disadvantage of generalist is lack of depth. That's mean usually the generalist just know the surface of the knowledge. Okay. And second, lower job security. That's mean if he is not not an expert, so that person possibility can sorry, if that person is not specialist, okay, usually the company can easily replace this generalist guy because it's easy to get generalist in market. Okay, that suffer in big companies. Okay, usually if you are working in the big companies, okay, you are not specialist in any area. Okay, usually you cannot get a promotion, and also maybe you maybe your salary also cannot increase quite progressively lah. Okay, for example, in a big company kan, as I mentioned, what they need is a good leadership. Okay, maybe you can focus in a leadership area. That's mean you can become a top management or can become a management area if you are an engineer. Okay, for example, as I present before, Atika Paiman. Okay, she is an electrical engineer, but she is specialist in the she is specialist in the accountant field. So that means she can cover ethical and also accountant, but uh, her specialize more at the accountant part. So she have a good she has a what we call expert for the ethical and also accountant. That's mean you need to have a good specialist if you work in the big company. And number four, competitive disadvantage. That's mean you cannot get what we call is quite slow for you to get the promotion lah, or to get promotion if you don't have any expertise in the big company. Okay. For the disadvantage for the specialist is area inflexibility. Okay. For example, if you are consultant, for example, consultant for transmission, okay, transmission, analog transmission. Okay, for example, in Malaysia, we already changed from analog to digital, right? Okay, if you are a specialist for the analog transmission, that means there are no more longer what we call no more longer market in Malaysia. So it's quite difficult for you to find what we call to find this type of work because because Malaysia already changed from the analog transmission signal to digital digital transmission. Okay. And second, the opinion on others issue might not be as valid. For example, if you are expert in what we call in distribution, okay, but you provide maybe technical advice on the thermal, okay, maybe it's not valid, okay, because you are expert in the electricity, okay, but you provide opinion in the thermal, so maybe it's not valid for you to provide an opinion. And third, maybe finding the suitable position can be much tougher lah, based on the job demand availability and also market change. Okay, and last part is large investment. For you to become a professional engineer or to get the what we call for you to get uh, the PhD is quite expensive because you need to provide money for the investment for your competencies or for your qualification. Okay, this is my advice for the young engineer. Okay, the first thing first, maybe it's good for you to become a generalist. That means you try to learn as much you can because you need to have a wide range of knowledge. But when you work around more than 3 years, maybe you can identify what is your specialist or maybe what is your your target career. Okay, for example, you already works as a consultant engineer for 3 years. Maybe you can target to become a professional engineer, and if you work at site, maybe you can target to become a competent engineer or service engineer. So you already have a target. Okay, but if you are young engineer or graduate engineer, please learn as much you can, because the global demand is quite volatile. That's mean we don't know what is the future demand. Okay, for example, for those who are technical background, but you are lack in the internet or IT background, you are uh, you you are what we call uh, is if you lack on IT, so the opportunity is less lah. Okay, because there are a lot of demand on the IoT part or on the programming part. Okay, so learn as much as you can and try to get try to what we call try to create a diary based on my experience. Okay, a lot of young engineer, they just try to fulfill their work. Okay, try to what we call try to enjoy their position, but they don't know what they are doing at that time. That means they never learn from their position, from their works. They never what we call never um, record, okay, what they are doing. So they are missing their experience and missing their knowledge. So this is the things that the graduate or the young engineer need to improve. Okay, okay, any question? Okay, there are no question. Okay, speaking of speaking of fresh graduate, how do you see fresh graduate student that has just complete their study and currently searching for job encountered COVID-19 situation causing small and big company to stop to employ this fresh graduate student? As a person in industry, don't you think there will be a large impact to employment rate to fresh graduate student? How long will this situation last? Okay, I agree with you regarding the unemployment issue, because I'm graduate in 2012, and as I mentioned, it's quite difficult for my batch to get the work. Okay, because on that time, on 2008, there are what we call the economic crisis. Same as 2016, there are oil and gas crash, which the oil price dropped till 40 USD per barrel, which is cause our nation economic uh, also have a issue. So I'm sure regarding the employment is quite difficult to say. That means it's quite struggle for the fresh graduate to get a job. And second, as the regarding the economy, maybe it will take time. Maybe not 1 year, maybe not 2 years, maybe more than 5 years. Maybe. Okay. What you can do is you need to identify what is the needs of the industry. Okay, that's mean as we identify. Okay, uh, there are a lot of what we call the disruptive technology. For example, the Internet of Things. Okay, the what we call the application or the programming part. I'm sure there are a lot of demand at that area for include also in the energy. Okay, for example, I just heard that our energy for future, there are what we call open market energy. Apa? Open market energy. That's mean the people can choose the supplier. Okay, So maybe you need to prepare yourself. Okay, for example, the IoT things, the programming part, or maybe you need to have what we call the global global demand global demand knowledge, like a green energy, okay, like a sustainable. So this is a part of preparation for the fresh graduate to get the job. I'm sure it's quite difficult. Okay, as we know, the oil price right now is very low. For the brand oil price is around zero. Okay, so Malaysia also will facing around what's $30 per barrel. So this is one of the challenges. But I'm sure for the global, we will have energy transition. Okay, energy transition. That's mean instead we depend on the depend on the oil and gas. So for future, we will depend on sustainable energy. So it's a good area for the fresh graduate to explore on this new knowledge or this new area. Okay. Okay. Question number 4. What is your career option? Okay. This is my favorite target. Okay. But my advice, don't be choosy during this challenges time. Okay. But it's good for you to know what you will learn based on your career option lah. Okay. For example, the consultant. Okay. If you are targeting to become a consultant engineer, usually consultant engineer will work with a consultant firm. Okay. Like jurutera perunding in Malay. So this environment of working environment can help you to improve your design skill. That's mean when you are working with a consultant firm, okay, you will involve more on the design part. Okay, for example, if you are design electrical engineer, so you will consult the construction, you will consult the manufacturing, okay, for the engineering or for the M&E business area. So your design skill will increase, and this is your specialty when you are working with a consultant firm. Okay, if you are working with contractor, okay, the business area like supplier, okay, site contractor or testing, okay, you will get more knowledge on the application skill. Okay, for example, if you are supplier for the transformer, okay, so you will have a specific skill application for that transformer knowledge. Okay, if you are working at site, okay, that means you are construction in electrical engineer for the construction business. That means you will have knowledge on skill application for site issue. Okay, how you want to deal the project management of the electrical what we call electrical installation. So how you want to handle on the electrical wiring at site. So you will have more skill on the application part. Okay, if you are working with the end user, okay, like manufacturing, okay, like plant owner for oil and gas, okay, or process plant, okay, you will expose more on the project management. That means if you are working with a big plant, okay, you cannot settle down all the issue by yourself, but uh, your role is more on handling the contractor to complete or to solve the issue at site. So you will learn uh, more on the project management, or more on the paperwork, or more on the planning part. And if you are working in the education area, for example, you are working with a university or you are working with a college, okay, you will your skill will improve at the teaching part. That means your knowledge will improve on the teaching part, and also you will teach the future engineer to become engineer. Okay, so maybe you during you become a lecturer, okay, you can focus more on your favorite specialist area. For example, if you are teaching electrical engineer, so you want to become if you want to become apa, to become a lecturer for university, you must to have what? You must to have a PhD. You must a PhD holder. Okay, if not mistaken, and maybe uh, you will become a specialist on specific part. Okay, okay, okay. I already finished regarding 4 questions for engineer. Okay, on this slide, I will share with you more on the preparation part, okay, which is what engineer need to prepare themselves, or what they need to know, okay, before become an engineer. Okay, first thing first, you need to read the big picture. That means you need to read the global economic. Although you are a technical guy, but you need to have what we call habit to read. Okay, because I'm sure the industry is quite challenges. So by reading, actually you can increase your knowledge, and also you can identify what is the current demand. Okay, for current situation lah. Okay. For example, I mentioned before regarding the IR 4.0, okay, there are current situation. Uh, Before this, we will do the seminar in class or in hotel. But recently, there are a lot of webinar training online. That means there are what we call we will apply the new technology, or we will apply new technology based on the condition. Okay, maybe you need to explore on the professional engineer, computer engineer. Okay, maybe in the energy what we call energy business area, like energy manager, solar PV, okay, wind turbine. And also there are a lot of opportunity for the graduate to explore this, for them to explore based on the current condition. And second, try participate the association or institution as much as you can. Okay, because I'm sure when you participate the association, you can meet a lot of public figure, or you can meet a lot of mentor. Okay, one of my tips during I am a fresh graduate. Okay, during that time it's quite difficult for me to get a job. So one of my strategy, I just join, or I just participate any what we call any program related to technical. And lastly, I managed to get the job during association meeting. Okay, when they identify I'm a quite active, what we call with a good pay company. Okay, as I mentioned, I'm working in a oil and gas company, because I managed to meet with a good mentor, which can he also provide me a job placement lah. Okay, preparation 3. Okay, before I change to I proceed to preparation 3. Any question you want to ask? I foresee. Okay. Okay, there are questions from RMB. I foresee post-COVID will be a more and adjustment every single phase of life. Company will not only looking for a good engineer, but also with some community knowledge, soft skill, and other areas, engineer and business. Okay, very good. Okay, preparation number 3, boss or mentor. Okay, based on webinar chat. Okay, I identify some participant raised the issue regarding it's quite difficult to get a mentor at the small company. Okay, boss or mentor. Actually, this is difficult. What we call difficult is based on your luck. Okay, if at your office, okay, you get the management, which is he is a good mentor, so it's good for you, okay, because this mentor can improve your career and can improve your life. But if you're working at that organization with a boss, okay, that means he never teach you, okay, that means it's quite difficult for you to improve your career. But it's not it's not become your end for your career. Okay, for example, during my experience working as an engineer, okay, my place don't have any technical guy who can become a good mentor. So what I did is I tried to find a mentor from an association or from any company, okay, from a social media. During at that time, I communicate that person via Facebook, okay. And currently, I'm contact more mentor by using a LinkedIn, okay. It's based on the trending on that time, okay. I try to join what we call try to join the engineer group in the Facebook, and there are one mentor from that company who is willing to help my career development. So I'm quite lucky. Okay, although my current company on that time they are professional engineer and they also specialists, but they are not willing to share their knowledge or not willing to mentor their subordinate. So this is based on your self esteem or based on self initiative to get a mentor. And right now, I'm sure it's quite easy to get a mentor from LinkedIn. Okay, I'm sure if you just search electrical engineer, computer engineer, or service engineer, or expert on any field, okay, it's quite easy for you to get a mentor or to ask that person to become a mentor from a LinkedIn. And for the graduate, please create new LinkedIn. Please create an account, LinkedIn account, which is this is a professional account, which is you can find the mentor in this platform. Okay, okay. This is career development based on engineeraustralia.org.au. Okay, you can find it from this website. I'm very like this experience journey or career path advice from this Engineer Australia. So you can what we call you can read detail. Okay, for example, during year one for your career, okay, you start planning your career. That means you try to set a target, okay, try to get a mentor, okay, try to identify what is a pro and cons, okay. You try to observe, and year two you try to start to get your chartered, or in Asia you start to get your professional engineer, okay. Try to get a good mentor, okay. Try to get to start doing your journal or start doing your diary, okay. Please don't feel comfortable when you get the position. Try to upgrade yourself or try to what we call during your during you are a young engineer, okay. Try to be a progressive engineer. That means uh, uh, maybe during your first year, try to be generalist. That means you try to learn as much you can. and during year 2 or year 3 target to become a specialist. Okay, so regarding this step, okay, you can search in engineeraustralia.org.au. So there are what we call a book that can can assess yourself which engineer you want to be you want to become, and what skill set required for you to become a good engineer. So you can download from engineeraustralia.org.au. So I'm very uh, like this career path guideline. Okay. Okay. On this part, I would like to provide conclusion. Okay. Uh, for our young engineer. Okay. To regarding our industry, okay, it is a pyramid. That means if you are engineer, okay, is quite difficult for you to get the promotion to become a top management, okay, because usually the corporate, okay, just what we call, just see the technical guy as what we as a worker. Okay, it's quite difficult for technical guy to become a top management. And some, if you want to become a top management, maybe you need to have what we call to have like management management uh, qualification like MBA. Okay, there are few top management is a technical guy, so maybe it's quite, that's why it's quite difficult for technical guy to become a well-known person or to become a top leader in Malaysia. Okay, we, that's why we can see just a I can say very few top management in Malaysia is with the engineering background, because there are what we call, there are conflict between technical and the what we call management background. Okay, so this is the reality. If you want to become a top management, so you must to have a business or management qualification. So sometimes the technical specialists don't have a power to make a decision in organization. This is a common issue lah. And reality number 2, honor will or political will. This one is based on the condition, market condition in world lah. For example, the COVID, okay, is based on the what we call the government asked to give, to provide the full salary, but it's if based on the real condition, the owner cannot provide the enough salary. So this also will become a conflict. That means uh, regarding the position or regarding the economic progress is depend on the owner will and also political will. That's why I'm sure for future is quite difficult for young engineer to get a position. But my advice, please improve yourself, start your self-assessment, try to get a mentor, and try to identify what the the demand on that time lah. You know the owner for what? The owner of Amazon. Okay, his company start during what we call, during economic crisis. Okay, so there are no reason for us uh, to 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 get a position or to improve ourselves. Okay, the challenges for nation engineer first is regarding the salary. Okay, if you get a very good work-life balance, that means uh, if you get a good work-life balance, okay, sometimes you will get a very cheap salary. But if you don't have a very good work-life balance, but you will get a good salary. This one is like juggling. Which one you want? You want a good salary or you want to have a good work-life balance? This one like a juggling. Which one you want? Okay. Sometimes this is a crisis. You want to still stay single to become a success engineer or to get married as soon as possible. This one also is juggling for young engineer. Okay. Trust and opportunities. That's mean after you graduate and you become engineer, is it easy for you to handle a technician who are experienced more than you? So this one is based on trust and opportunity and career ladder. This one is based on your target or your ambition. Okay, if you are working as electrical engineer, how long you want to work as common electrical engineer? This one also is a conflict for the young engineer because I'm sure the young engineer are very passionate to get promoted, also to improve himself or herself. And then cost of working. Okay, sometimes if you are from you far away, for example, you are in Perlis. Okay, sometimes you need uh, to move in KL to get a position lah, to get a place. But sometimes the what we call the rental price and also transportation in KL is quite expensive. So, but your salary is what we call is peanut. So this is what we call is dilemma of a young engineer. Okay, to survive in the industry. Quota is normal issue in any country in the world. Okay, quota because of gender, because of race. This is normal in any country. Okay, and last part is leave corporate nature and build a startup. Okay, this is based on a lot of uh, things happen in what we call in developed country. Okay, because there are a lot of children in the developed country like Indonesia and so on. Okay, they work with a corporate with a what we call the very good brand industry, and then they left this good brand industry to build a startup. Okay, because I'm sure there are a lot of industry opportunity in Malaysia. Okay, although there is challenges after COVID, but I'm sure young engineers still can get the position, and also young engineer also can survive based on the industry needs. If the young engineer didn't know the industry demand, didn't what we call didn't read about our current situation, I'm sure this engineer is quite struggle to get the position. Okay. Any question before I end my presentation? Okay. Most CEO and senior manager in technology company are engineering background. Yes, I'm agree with you. Most CEO and senior manager in technology company are engineering background, but it's based on situation. Okay, we can see most of technology company top management also uh, is also from what we call the account or business background. It's depend on situation and depend on the trend actually. This engineering background engineer expand their knowledge by pursuing complementary knowledge in business. Okay. Yes. Can we have the slide? Yes. We can provide this slide. Company will pay based on contribution of the employee to the organization. Please bear in mind, company focus is to make money and maintain their overhead. Therefore, each new implementation will be better. Yes, I agree with you, RB. Because the company will pay based on the contribution. Okay, if that company cannot make money, so they also cannot provide a good package or cannot provide a good salary for the employee. Okay, any question? Actually, my presentation already end. Okay, I just open any question from the participant.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Zakuan, for the very interesting presentation and sharing of your knowledge and experience. Okay, is there any questions or anyone would like to share anything? Just unmute yourself and you can just speak.
Can I speak?
Okay, can Razali?
Okay, hi. Good afternoon, everybody. This is Razali here. Okay, I have just a little view with regard to one of the main concern here is that what will be the job opportunity after COVID-19? And that's one factor. And the other issue that I do notice that some of question raised with regard to the experience as well the salary package. Okay, what we noticed that at least for the last few years, we noticed even in Malaysia and the world economy as well, that Malaysia GDP has been going down from 9%, 8%, 7%, and the last few years we are running between 4.5 to 5%. And energy growth in Malaysia, energy growth is with regard to between 2 to 4%. So in this respect, if you are to see that the job opportunity somehow is getting less and the job opportunity will be somewhere around either outside there or if in Malaysia, there will be in a different branch of engineering. Then in my opinion that engineer, they themselves, even though they are electrical engineer, they need to be prepared with other knowledge that is required in the industry. One of the additional knowledge that is rather very essential now, we are not looking for purely I2R engineer. We are looking at engineer with some soft skill, their ability to communicate, their ability to work with others, their ability to understand and comprehend the current business scenario. Yeah? Let's say even though you are a very good engineer, yeah? Even though you are a very good engineer, we are not, we as an employer, we are not interested with an engineer who's able to make things or product things, even though your product can sing, can dance, and can do the cooking at home. But if you cannot sell your product will be useless. So this is what I really learned almost 30 odd years ago, or almost 35 years ago, that an engineer itself will need to have a balance of other important skills. Yeah? So your salary is based on supply and demand. And there are a lot of numbers of engineers out there. And the question that I always ask whenever we conduct an interview for a new graduate engineers, I will ask, compare yourself with the other 5 engineers that currently we conduct the interview. What is that in you that is different, or there's something in you that you have extra compared to others? Yeah? So you must have something extra with you. You may have the skill, yeah, but if you do not have the skill to show, that you will not be accepted. Even though you have a skill, but if you don't have a teamwork for you to work with others, you will not be accepted. At the end of the day, the company, we are looking at the profitability and how much sales that you can generate and how much order intake you can bring in. And in between, you're looking at the OE. So the head of the company, the CEO of the company, most of the time they are a well-balanced individual, both in engineering as well as in business. They will decide what is your contribution, how you can contribute to the organization. The more that you can contribute, then the more package that you can able to negotiate with your potential employer, even with your current employer. That's my 2 cent opinion on this. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, IR Razali. Any other questions or anyone would like to share? Just some info for your information. IR Razali is the VP of Temco Switchgear, which is in Klang, Bukit Raja. So now, today we are very, very honored to have 2 speakers actually. One is junior engineer, which is our main speaker, Encik Zakuan, and another one is IR Razali, is a very senior and experienced engineer. Thank you so much, IR Razali, for the thoughts. Any other questions that the participants would like to ask? No. Okay, with that, thank you so much to all participants, Encik Zakuan, for the very interesting presentation and sharing of experience, and also to our participants that who have asked questions. And of course, the slide we will ask from Encik Zakuan, and I'll email to all the participants. And with that, I thank you so much, everyone, for the participation on today's seminar. And with that, I end this session, and stay safe, everyone, and stay at home. I'll pass it back to Dr. Harun. Dr. Harun, are you there?
Dr. Rashida. Thank you very much to our speaker, IR. And then I would like to thank all of you. Thank you to our speaker today, IR Zakuan and IR Razali, and also Dr. Ashida to moderate this session. And thank you to UiTM for organizing this webinar. I would just like to add one very small thing, what Ayya Zakuan have mentioned about mentoring. Under IEEE, we do provide mentoring, and that mentoring we have through one of our network called IEEE Collaborative. So if you are IEEE member, you can join IEEE Collaborative, and there you can find for mentor in your specific field. And if you are not IEEE member, you still can join IEEE Collaborative, but with some limited resources to you. But if you are not an IEEE member, you are more than welcome to join IEEE, and you can get all the benefits of being an IEEE member. So keeping time constraint in mind, I would like to conclude today's webinar over here. And to all the participants, we hope to see you soon in our next webinar. We have 1 or 2 webinars every day in this MCU time over here right now. So just stay tuned with our Facebook page, and at our Facebook you can get all the updates. The recorded video of this session will be also available, and later together with the slides we will give the link to you. So you'll be able to access the recording if you would like to view it again. So with that, I would like to conclude this webinar. Thank you very much once again, and stay home, stay safe. See you in next webinar. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.